Hi, I'm Adriana Zawucka with Family Wealth Report. Recently, we spoke to some of the judges for our Family Wealth Report Awards 2021, and we asked them how the current pandemic is impacting our industry, the wealth management and family office industry, how it is changing the way we work, the way you interact with your clients, and if there might be any positives that we can take away from this experience.
From my perspective, our industry is not recovering from this pandemic, it is being reshaped by this pandemic. This crisis has been a significant catalyst for change. Many of these changes were already underway before the pandemic struck. Now they're accelerating at warp speed. Some of the changes we can anticipate are obvious. These include how we leverage technology, how real estate design and usage is transformed, and likely to see more flexibility in work hours and geography. A few of the not so obvious changes, however, include what the impact on culture and relationships might be. For example, how will organizational cultures be reshaped as working relationships become more virtual? Will client relationships become stronger because virtual interactions provide the opportunity for more frequent communication? Or will they become weaker in the absence of face-to-face interactions? Time will tell how some of these questions get answered, but one thing is certain. Those of us who prove to be most agile and flexible will come out on top.
So I think the pandemic has actually given wealth management firms an opportunity to actually get closer to their clients. And it's strange to say closer in a world where everybody is socially distancing, quarantined, and isolated. But by closer, I mean more in-depth conversations, more strategic conversations, more frequent conversations, yes, albeit by video. But actually, the pandemic has presented an opportunity for those conversations to happen, and I think that's for the good.
I think you're going to see a transformation in family meetings. Family meetings have always been a bit of a hassle. It's very hard to schedule people. Most families rarely meet in person more than once a year, if that. And now there's no excuse not to attend with video calls. You can call in from your kitchen, you can call in from your dorm room, you could call in from a ski lift. Grandpa knows how to use it, the grandkids know how to use it, everybody in between knows how to use it. The other great benefit of the video calls is for the advisors. I know a family who recently had a family meeting, a summer meeting out in Jackson Hole, and they had their advisors and they had their foundation head pop into the meeting, do a short presentation and take questions. It was great for the family, and the advisors didn't have to fly out to Wyoming. Going to be a sea change in efficiency. The meetings will become more efficient. I think it will make family governance process more palatable to more families. You can break things up. You can form smaller committees to meet again later. And you don't have that horrible conference call dread that everybody has when they have to try to get 15 people onto a call. That's all been erased. The second issue I would mention is the phenomena of the remote hire, the ability to hire people in other cities. Technology companies have been doing this for years. You can hire people remotely, you can communicate with them regularly, and you can share documents. If you want to have a presence in Chicago or Palm Beach, but you don't want to open an office there, if you want someone in London or Geneva or Singapore to handle issues directly for your overseas clients, you can hire great professionals and start expanding your business at a very low cost right now. There's great workflow tools that many of us are already using, like Slack and Teams, but there's also new integrations with portfolio management software and reporting software. I know Will Trout and Doug Fritz have written a lot about these things. I think this is going to be a huge benefit to folks who feel locked into their region or locked into their local country, and a tremendous benefit over time.
So how has it changed? I mean, I think people are getting the time and appreciation for lots of those small things on our tactical to-do list to learn, whether it's DocuSign or Adobe Sign or scanning or content management, client portals. All of those kinds of things may have been relatively small, and I think they're bubbling up to the surface and getting a lot more adoption, both by the family members as well as by the actual, advisors. Maybe because they have time, but I certainly think they have the motivation now to learn those things. So I think it's very exciting that they're taking advantage of those things. Will it recover? I think it will recover and be better than ever. Much more efficient, much more flexible. I think obviously the things to keep our eye on are the compliance and the security.
The most nimble offices are leveraging or deploying collaborative technology and digital workflows. Focus has been shifting towards increasing visibility into financial and investment exposures and performance, maintaining or improving risk management as teams work from home, shoring up personal and cybersecurity defenses. We are seeing an elimination or a process of trying to eliminate manual and paper-based processes. And lastly, preparing alternate routing and approval paths in case of unexpected absences or bottlenecks.
Obviously, the markets and the economy have affected the asset management industry as well as the clients. The mode of communication has changed significantly. The remote work environment is forcing us to look at office space, technology, security, and families are now revisiting their values. Families are now revisiting their governance structures and their decision-making ability that was tested during this period of time. So the need for non-financial advice, I believe, has become more important, recognized as absolutely essential, and will continue to become in greater demand over time. Yes, I actually believe there are two specific positive changes that have occurred. I believe that communication with clients can be more frequent and easily scheduled, because pulling a whole family together is easier in a Zoom situation than it is trying to get people to one location in one geography, for example. I don't think that the video conferencing is going to totally take the place of and the need for in-person meetings, but I think it's a very positive change for the industry. And I actually think the remote work environment is very appealing to many people. And as we think about attracting, if you will, next-gen professionals to the wealth management industry, they are very interested in a remote, flexible work environment. So those are two positive things for the industry.
I think the impact to the industry as a whole in terms of post-COVID, it's not about necessarily returning to a normal. I think this is absolutely a new paradigm for the industry, and it's less about returning to something and way more about where we're going from here. I've heard people talk about it's not about breaking the mold anymore. We have no mold for the industry, and I think otherwise, video and what we do with images on devices and how we represent ourselves and our firms in devices and through media like video, that's going to be the new platform. In terms of what's positive in the industry and what's really a silver lining to what's just gone on, I think two things. Primarily, resiliency is way higher than anybody I know really expected. Technological resiliency, staff resiliency, and even client resiliency. Our clients, especially in the family office, ultra-high-net-worth space, that typically we put into this category of digital Luddites that weren't going to adopt new technology, didn't want it, really have adopted it and have grown to increasingly expect it. And I think we're going to expect to see more of that in the future.
How has the wealth management industry changed? I'm not sure how it's changed so far, but I am quite confident that once we move out of the pandemic, the economic volatility, and the racial issues we are going through right now, there will be a burst of creativity. There are many young people who are thinking and looking at the world and how they can improve it. And once we've moved out of the uncertainties we're facing now, we will see an explosion of creativity, which results in brand new models, brand new ideas, and frankly, some very exciting improvements to how we take care of private wealth holders, families, and their wealth.